Hey folks, you join us for what I expect will be the last successful blind we'll be able to pass here. This is ante 49 of a round of Balatro playing with the Pokermon mod. As you can see, the scoring limit, the scoring requirement for this round is E566 for this boss, which we're using another mod called Talisman to go beyond the typical scoring limit, which I think is around E300. So let's get into it. We are going to have to re-roll a little bit. It'll be quite embarrassing to die into the plants here, but the serpent will do nicely. Okay, so what are our main components here? All the way to our left of our jokers, we have 6 copies of the Pokemon Joker Espeon, which is really our main carry for this run. As you can see, we have a full deck of Polychrome Red Seal Kings, and the Espeon Joker. Naturally, we're playing a +5. The Espeon Joker re-triggers each played king and applies an X mult to that as well. You'll notice that some of the Espeons are giving us more mult and less mult, depending on which. This is because of the energy feature of Balatro's Pokemon mod. It means you can level up, effectively upgrade your Jokers using an item card called Energies. And as you can see, the 47 out of 3 is quite a lot more than 3, and that's because we have enabled the infinite energy mode here as well. You may be wondering how we have so many negatives. Of course, this is the actual Espeon artwork with the foil edition. The other 5 are negative, and then we have a bunch of negatives here. The main way we're doing that is with the Gengar card. There are 2 versions of the Gengar card. The regular Gengar, which we favoured during the beginning of the run, and the Mega Gengar, which we're using now. The regular Gengar replaces the addition of a random Joker with negative in a certain amount of rounds, usually 4 to 6-ish. Mega Gengar, which we're creating using this Mega Stone Spectral card up here, creates a negative tag when the small blind or large blind is selected. We also have 3 idols here as well. I don't quite know where the other one's gone. There we go. These are of course triggering every time because we only have kings, red heart kings in our deck, and also these have some of them have energies applied to them as well, which is why this one is an X6 and this one is an X2. We have a couple of extra interesting cards here. Milotic is re-triggering our whole deck if we play a hand containing flush. The Showman is obviously allowing us to get the dupes, which are getting the dupes of the Espeon and the Idol. We have a traditional Photo Chad combo in there as well, both negative. And then a couple more useful re-trigger cards in there too. The Sock and Buskin, the vanilla card. There is one later on. An Octillery, which is re-triggering all our cards. And then I believe we have somewhere in here is a Sudowoodo as well, which does something very similar, re-triggers all played and held face cards. And then right to the back we've got our old faithful Blueprint and Brainstorm, which are copying our strongest Espeon here. And that is the majority of what's doing the work in this run. A few other bits to note: we do have quite a lot of money. Quite a lot of that is actually coming from the lucky cards, as they trigger so many times. You'll see 20 hits quite often. Flush 5 is leveled up to 107. At some point we gave up actively leveling it, but we have a nice starting mult here, which is getting multiplied a few times. And then also, interestingly, we have all the vouchers. I don't know if you saw in that last shop, but every ante we just get a new version of the blank voucher. Cost 5, does nothing for us, never re-rolls into an antimatter, it just sort of stays there. But yeah, onto the hand itself. It's all fairly self-explanatory. You can see it did a bit of a calculation there in the beginning. We've turned the shaking off because as it gets faster and faster, the shaking becomes actually quite unpleasant to look at. So I recommend, we're on 8x speed, which we're using another mod to allow us to go above the speed limit. but it's still going to take a fairly long time here, so I will just let it crack on. It's a bit boring without the shake. Let's turn the shake back on. Let's give us a bit of shake. If you do have epilepsy, you may want to look away as we get higher. And there we go. That is a score E577 in a modded run of Balatro using the Pokermon mod. There's not a whole lot more we can do now. I'll just check. We are going to die on this next blind, so I will roll down all of our money. Realistically, the only thing that can help us more, which is what we've been doing, is getting new negative copies of Eevee, which allows us to evolve it into Espeon, which is what is giving our re-triggers. Other than that, natural negative brainstorms and blueprints or negative idols might be able to help us, but beyond that, there's not much we can do. I will roll this soul that creates a legendary Joker just to see what we get, see if there's anything interesting, but for now I'm going to spend a little bit of money rolling down to see if we can land anything negative that may help us out for free, although the chances are relatively unlikely. No, I think that's probably not going to help us too much, so what I'm going to do... We have an idol, or I better off selling the showman. I use that and we'll see what we got. We got Alluvia. Gains X1 mult for every 40 cards drawn during the blinds. Well, that is not going to help us out very much, so unfortunately I will sell that. See if we get anything drastically incredible. Nope. We may as well take a little X2 more. And that is going to be it for us. We may as well skip these. Why not? And for fun, let's do an extra large blind. I'm going to speed things up slightly. And we can all watch us die together. And there you go. I think it's... I will run the rest of the hands out. Let's see. Completion. But to be honest, it's not entirely worth it. If I quickly go, this is our talisman mod. I can disable scoring animations, which is very useful for mods like Cryptid, where the numbers just become very silly very quickly. But you can see that timesing our score by 2 does not change the E factorial number at all. And there you have it. That is game over. Now, you will notice somewhere in there I had a hand of 2.607 to the E to the 602. I don't quite know where that was, and I'm not quite sure how, but it happened somewhere. But that is the end. We made it to ante 50, round 142, and we were defeated by a blind that needed E9 597 from us. Thanks for watching.